May the 2nd is going down in history as one of the most important dates for the Paint People channel. It is the day that I was sent this article by Matt G from dengarden.com, and it's titled Painting Kitchen Cabinets White, the Pros and Cons. Someone else agrees with me. This is very exciting. Oh yeah, also May 2nd is my wife's birthday, so kind of a big deal too. So the thing about white kitchen cabinets is they are everywhere, for better or worse. It seems to be a very popular choice, and it has remained a choice for decades and decades. Some call it timeless, some call it tired, but any way you slice it, people that are painting their kitchen cabinets are going to be much more likely to paint them white, or at least off-white. So I want to go through these pros and, more importantly, the cons with all of you, just to make sure you're ready to make that decision about painting your kitchen cabinets white. Maybe there's a better option, or maybe not. Maybe you should just follow your gut, right? So the first pro, I'm going to see if I can find a rebuttal for all of the pros in this argument. So anyway, the plus sides of painting kitchen cabinets white. The first one is caulk repairs in white paint are easier. So I assume we're talking about after your cabinets have been painted white and you need to apply some caulking here and there where things have maybe separated. You can just get white caulking and then repair them quite easily. Harder to do if you have beautiful sage green kitchen cabinets. You apply white caulking on those, you'll have to maybe repaint them or at least touch them up where the caulking is. So that sounds like a win for white cabinets, right? Wrong. You can actually get custom tinted caulking as well to match your kitchen cabinets. So that is not a good enough reason for me, but thanks for trying. Second point, apparently white cabinet paint is easier to touch up. Yeah, this could be true in certain cases, especially when you have really dark colors that are much more visually apparent. They're not going to reflect as much light to distract your eyes, so you'll see things a little bit easier. But that being said, based on my experience with people touching up white anything, they're more likely to think that white is just white, no matter what. So that touch-up they did on their white kitchen cabinets was just a can of primer they had lying around. Oh, it's gonna look the same. We'll just sort of touch it up there, and then boom, cabinet's ruined. The next point is white is versatile. So conceptually, in a vacuum, yes, the idea of white is super versatile because it's a very, very clean slate. You don't really have to worry about colors sort of clashing because there really is no color. The problem is perfect white paint doesn't really exist. So you have warmer whites that maybe have a yellow undertone that can sometimes look a bit green, which could totally clash. Or maybe you have a white that is a little bit gray leaning, which can then feel cooler and almost bluey. So you're still not quite safe with white, I'm sorry to say. In fact, I could see situations where you might be safer leaning into your countertop color or your backsplash color and just maybe find a lighter variation of some of the colors found in those surfaces and pull that, because then at least you'll know that it's within the same family of colors. You're not trying to have something too contrasty and different. And then one of the most popular pluses for painting your cabinets white, they will look brighter and updated. And this is fair because a lot of the cabinets that I've seen painted white have originally been very dark, like a chocolate brown sort of color or even like a mid-tone. Going from that to white is a huge difference. It's naturally going to reflect more light back into your kitchen, which is going to open things up. So if you didn't want to physically add more lights, by going with the white, yeah, it's going to make your kitchen look brighter. But you don't have to go with white. You can go off-white or even kind of a lighter mid-tone color. The difference is still going to be drastic enough where you will notice a huge change in the overall lightness of your kitchen without having to rely on Chantilly lace. Okay, so admittedly, some of those kind of hard to argue, to be fair. And I think that just goes to show that there are some benefits to painting your cabinets white. But I definitely want to get into some cons as to why you might not want to paint your kitchen cabinets white. The first one is white cabinet paint can yellow. So one of the big complaints of white paint, especially on the cabinets, historically has been they don't stay white. The paint surface itself can start to yellow over time, which is a big problem. A lot of people always ask me, is that going to happen with my paint? I'm pretty concerned about that. But to be completely honest, if you're going with one of these modern waterborne products or even a water-based lacquer, they're not going to yellow like your old solvent and oil-based paints used to do back in the day. The technology is advanced to the point where your white cabinets, maybe they won't look perfect in 5 to 10 years, but they're also not going to go from egg white to egg yolk. I think you're okay there. Dang, why am I defending white cabinets right now? Okay, this one's good. Too much white. This is one of my biggest complaints with white cabinets because normally it's not just the cabinets that are becoming white. You're also getting the white quartz countertops with the matching backsplash, and then you have the waterfall island, and it's just white on white on white. In the kitchen, where you're going to have all kinds of messes and spills and all that. It just feels like there needs to be something else. So personally, if I went with white kitchen cabinets, I'd pick a fun countertop or a fun backsplash at the very least, just to sort of break things up. When everything's just white, it's a bit lifeless to me. I don't know, just me. Chipping white paint stands out. And this ties into that earlier point we made. One of the pros is you normally go from dark to white, so there's going to be a huge difference in contrast, and you'll also notice that difference if your cabinets chip. If any of that coating comes off, you're really going to see it. I don't necessarily see this as a massive downside, to be honest, because A, if your cabinets chip regardless, it's not going to look good. It might not be as noticeable with white, but it's still something you're probably going to want to address. And B, more importantly, if you've done the necessary prep, if you got a great primer on there and a beautiful lacquer on top especially, it's going to be less likely to chip and therefore will last you. I don't think you should make your cabinet color decision based on when these cabinets inevitably chip in a month or so. I want to make sure I don't notice them as much. Hopefully they won't chip at all. Now this is the biggest reason why I caution people against painting their kitchen cabinets white. White paint gets dirty so fast, okay? It's just the truth, especially in the kitchen. If you like to get down and dirty and do all kinds of mixing and stews and bubbling and all that, you're going to struggle to keep those cabinets clean. And I know that a lot of you are like, hey, just clean your kitchen. I do. But all I'm saying is it's just another thing that you're going to address. You will see every little fingerprint smudge, no matter how insignificant it is, it's going to be proudly on display with your white cabinets. So for those of you who have pets and maybe you have a couple young kids, maybe you don't have time to allot specified daily kitchen cabinet cleanups because you have all other of life's stuff that you need to take care of. But at the end of the day, maybe it's not that serious. If you're set on painting your kitchen cabinets white, at least go with some really fun hardware. These are some up-to-date kitchen handle ideas. Check it out.